Oh my God, this is incredible. That's what she said to me yesterday, and for good reason. It's going to make the business more money right away. I took a terrible mess of pricing and features and turned it into an awesome online tool that's super intuitive to use and guides the user to build exactly what they need into a solution with all the features and pricing laid out for them. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the same and get paid thousands for it by building one together. So how did all this come about? Yesterday, I had a chat to a business who was struggling to help their wholesale customers understand how to price up their complex IT product solution and actually plan out all the features and functionality that an end customer would need. It was bad, really bad. They had a hideous Excel spreadsheet with dozens and dozens of features as line items, each with its own price, but then also some features would change the pricing of another item if chosen, and it was super obvious why the wholesalers contacted the business for help every time they were trying to spec up a solution for an end customer's business. It was just an overwhelming mess. So we had a chat, and in 5 minutes I had a decent overview of what the problem was, and the solution was pretty clear to me. We needed to create not just a calculator, but an intuitive guided process which laid out everything in a logical, friendly way, immediately understandable and helpful for those new to building out the solution, as well as those who are experienced. But how would we achieve this? Easy. I just took their product pricing spreadsheet and the few notes we'd gathered around their business rules and some of the logic of what needed to be thought about when building this product solution for a business. Then I just opened up VS Code and Claude Opus 4.6 and told it what we were needing, an intuitive tool which stepped the users who are struggling with their current pricing spreadsheet through the whole process in a helpful, non-overwhelming way, only exposing what was relevant to their required solution through careful initial questions. And 5 minutes later, boom, we had just that. I showed them the first draft and their jaw literally dropped. They didn't realize what was so quickly possible and in such an intuitive and kind of beautiful form, such that it exceeded all their expectations. So think about that. Do you think this has monetary value to a business? Yes, of course it does. They're now able to make this tool available to their customers who are going to be surprised and delighted at how easy it is now to build out powerful solutions for their end customers, and everyone's going to be able to make more money quickly and easily. See, most businesses are full of problems and muddy waters of unclear processes, unhelpful pricing, expecting the customer to just figure it out for themselves, often overlooking all the knowledge gaps, because the company's owners and staff have 100 times more knowledge of the product and pricing structure than the customers coming in blind. Now, this is where you and I come in. We can very easily take a hideous spreadsheet or price list or sprawling website of data and give that to an AI agent system like VS Code and Claude or Antigravity and Gemini 3.1, for example, that we understand how to use to build things with, and explain in plain language what we're wanting to have instead for the business. And voila! A few minutes later, we have something which is 100 times better at guiding the customer to build out what they actually want and need and clearly understand what they're needing to pay confidently without the fear of miscalculating things, missing vital components to their complex solution, or buying things that they do not require for what they're trying to achieve. They've then got confidence in that business, goodwill is built because their difficult problem was made easy, and they're more likely to 1, buy, 2, recommend the business to others, and 3, buy again in the future. So let's build something together right now. Let's find a business with a complex product suite where customers would struggle to figure out what they're needing due to overwhelm. Here we go. So this is a smart home company which have literally hundreds of different products which all interact with each other. Super cool and powerful, but also super confusing. And as a customer, I don't know where to start. There's just so much here. They have a shop area with all sorts of different products and receivers and transmitters, smart bulbs, all sorts of different elements. I can see they have tried to make a range of PDF guides to explain the process, but we can definitely improve on this. This one here is 118 pages of just pure data. Then there's this more kind of usable one here, which is 12 pages. So I'm just going to download some of these PDF guides. And also, unlike the company that I was working with yesterday, this company doesn't appear to have a price list, which is just readily available online. So what I've done is I've just used AI to trawl their Shopify JSON and get the full list of all of the products and pricing and SKUs and everything that we need. So I've got that as a CSV. So to build this tool, let's use Antigravity and Gemini 3.1 Pro, which is a great combo for building tools with AI. All I need to do to start a new project is just open a new folder, which I've called Smart Home Guide. Now I'll just add a new folder in here called Existing Docs, and I'll add the PDF guides and the pricing CSV into that folder. Okay, now I'll just describe what I want. My client is Trust Smart Home, a smart home solutions company with a full range of products to build out a custom smart home. Customers are confused about where to start, what products they'll need, and how all interact. I want you to create a beautiful, intuitive tool that is a standalone HTML, JavaScript, CSS file which guides the user through the logical steps by asking helpful, easily understandable questions and only exposing questions and information relevant to what they are revealing that they are wanting to achieve with their smart home fit out. As they step through this process, it should guide them and make sure they get everything they'll need to achieve their stated goals. At the end, it should have a summary page that they can print off or save as a PDF, which outlines all of the items they need, the pricing, and links to each item in the online shop on the site so they can set about purchasing their shopping list. To achieve this, you'll find several PDF guides and a pricing CSV in the existing docs folder, so you understand the full system of products and how they interact and their requirements and their related pricing. I've also noticed they have this little section on their site as well, which seems helpful. So this talks about, different sort of common smart home solutions, like if you're wanting things for arriving and leaving, or living room automations, or hallway, bathroom, bedroom, garden, and so on. And so if we click into one of these, we see that it's kind of talking about a variety of different products. It suggests something like, if you come home at night and the outdoor lights are off, you can barely see where you're going, you could just be able to switch on these particular lights with these products. Likewise here, this section about the living room. So I think maybe what I'll do here is just give it this information as well. So we've got another kind of like usability layer that we can have this better understand the product suite. And then it's got the PDF docs for the very kind of technical detail. All right, so it's got all the documents and things that I wanted to give it. So let's just set it going and see what it can build. You can see here it's made itself a little task list, and so it's just working through all of the different steps to read all of the existing documentation. Then it's going to go through and extract the product database, pricing, compatibility rules, design the logic and user flow, create implementation plan for the UI and logic, implement standalone tool, and then verify functionality and styling. All right, sweet. It's coming back just to say that it's reviewed the PDFs and pricing CSV. I've designed the overall logic and structure for the interactive tool. Please review the implementation plan to ensure the proposed logic, questions, and selected products align with your vision. Let me know if you'd like to adjust any of the product mappings or the step-by-step questions before I begin building the tool. So as normal in Antigravity, as we read through this implementation plan, if we're wanting to change anything about it, we can literally just click to add a comment on this line or wherever we want to, or we can just chat to Gemini in this chat window as normal. So, it's saying here that it's got these proposed changes. We're going to build this tool out. It's going to have this CSS design system, modern minimalist aesthetic. I'm happy with all of this. JavaScript logic and data makes sense. So it's thinking that it's going to use this user flow, step-by-step UI. Step 1, introduction to explain what the tool does. Step 2, talk about whether you're going to be using smartphone, tablet, and so on. Step 3, area and goals, just to understand like what they're trying to achieve. And then step 4, plus the specific requirements based on step 3. So that makes sense. Like we're going to ask those initial questions, like what are you actually trying to do here? This and this and this. Okay, great. Now I'm going to ask you a series of questions which actually we need to have answered to build out the system that you're wanting to build. That all sounds fine to me. We can always iterate if we're wanting to make changes later. But let's just proceed. This is looking really good so far. Just going through now, verifying all of the items that it's selected and double checking against the price lists to make sure that everything is correct. Great. Here we go. So it's saying here, all done. I've built and verified your standalone Trust Smart Home Configurator app. You can find the fully functional tool at this location. It incorporates all the advanced logic from the PDF documents into a beautiful step-by-step quiz that dynamically generates a shopping cart with pricing and direct store checkout links. Please take a look and try running it locally. And you'll see here it's created this walkthrough. So it's just talking about all of the things that it's done, how it's gone about it, transcribe the product catalog containing names, prices, SKUs, purchase URLs into a flexible JavaScript data store. Obviously that sort of thing's important so that we can easily update pricing and things if we're needing to. There's a whole range of different ways we can do that. Obviously we can have something which is actually like automated to handle all of this stuff for us, or we could give it instruction to rely on a particular spreadsheet, for example, or something which the business wants to be able to easily update in one location. And so from there we can see that it's designed a step-by-step user interface. It's got the embedded business logic to build a polished, responsive summary table that tallies required quantities, unit prices, line item totals, grand total, direct links. It's talking about how it's used this clean, modern aesthetic. It's validated as well. We've run automated browser testing simulation. In its test, it's saying here that it wanted smartphone app control, chose 2 on and off indoor circuits, some smart bulbs and a hallway motion sensor, security system with 3 door sensors, 1 room sensor and a Wi-Fi IP camera, and built out the whole thing. And it's even got a little screen recording of its testing activity. That's just awesome. So let's give it a go ourselves. So this is the first page we see when we come to this configurator. This interactive guide will help you build your perfect smart home, answer a few simple questions, and will automatically compile exactly what receivers, transmitters, and sensors you need. Okay, get started. Do you want to control your entire home using a smartphone or tablet, set timers, and receive push notifications from anywhere in the world? Yes, I want app control. Next. What do you want to automate? Indoor lighting, outdoor. Yeah, I definitely want indoor, and I want blinds and shutters as well. Next. Let's calculate the receivers, transmitters needed for your inside lights. If automating existing ceiling lights, do you want the existing physical switches to still work manually? Yes, I do. How many standard on-off lighting circuits? We have 4 of those and 1 dimmable. Direct smart bulbs to replace existing bulbs. Yep, we'll need 2 of those and 1 of those. Wireless control points, don't need any of those. Actually, we'll say we'll need 1 of the indoor motion sensors, maybe 2. Next. Motorized blinds, screens, and gates. So we need the smart shutter screen switch. How many individual motorized units? Let's say we want 2 of those. Sweet. So now we've got a whole kind of system built out for us that does exactly what we're wanting it to do. And it's used all of the various logic and stuff as well to only show us the options that we're needing to see. Then obviously we've got an option here to print or save it as a PDF for our records. And we can also click to view the specific products that we're needing so that we can add those to cart. Beautiful. And I think it's important to keep in mind as well, like this is something which we've built in just a couple of minutes, and this is the first iteration as well. So I basically just, as you saw, just provided a few different guides, some pricing information, and a description of what it was that we're trying to achieve. So within just a few minutes, we've got something which is very usable and makes a lot more sense to use. Obviously, we can give particular guidance as well. So like if the business has some really detailed kind of process documents or sales scripts or other things which they want to enrich this information with to make it even more of a well-guided buying journey, then we can add all of that sort of stuff in. Likewise, we could have it add in imagery and other things to allow people to understand more easily what is happening. So how do you go from knowing how to build this thing to actually making some money with it? There's a whole raft of different ways we can go about this. So one of them obviously is if you're already working with clients who you can see have these complex kind of processes in place, just to be able to take a look at these things and use your own initiative to go and build something like this, take it to them and say, hey, look, I noticed this about your product suite and I could see that it's really likely that customers are struggling. Here's something which I've just put together for you. Whether or not you actually show them the tool directly or whether you kind of spec it out for them, like this is what I'm proposing. And either way, as soon as they try this out for themselves, they'll be like, okay, yeah, this is a game changer for us. And obviously at that point, you can essentially sell that to them and then put in place some type of retainer to build additional functionality, keep updates, other iteration and so on going forward. But even just using it as something which you could sell as a very useful piece of functionality for their website to allow their website to do a better job of selling. Likewise, if you didn't actually have an existing customer who you thought this would be a good fit for, you can literally do just as I did today, where you go out and find specific companies similarly have the same types of issues where they just have this complex product suite and this whole process where customers are struggling to navigate the whole process. You can identify this, again, put together something as like, this is a proof of concept or even a polished tool, and then take it to them and say, look, I've just built this out for you. It can be yours for the low, low price of, name your figure. You know, while not everybody will take you up on that, a lot of business owners are smart enough to see the opportunity in something which is brought to them. Ultimately, the price of a handful of sales coming through this thing which otherwise would not have, where the customer was just too confused to really get started and make that decision, it's going to easily pay for your fee. So now your business is starting to get off the ground and you're building out useful tools for other businesses and selling them. There's all sorts of other things that might be getting in your way. So watch this video next on 3 AI mistakes that could be killing your business. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.